Hey, what's up, everyone? Long time no see. Haven't posted in a while. I had some ideas about the June 2022 update, so I wanted to talk about those. I bought a gimbal, and I wanted to talk about that experience. And I also wanted to talk about some of the Pixel competitors. So anyway, let's get into it. The June 2022 update, I'm not going to get into every small detail about that. You can go find that and read that for yourself. If you'd like for me to provide a link, you can just comment and I will do so. So my overall experience with that is the other updates that I did not cover up to this point, really I didn't see that much of a difference. There were no big, huge features. It was all very incremental. So the June 2022 update, when it came out, I'm on US Verizon. Originally, it didn't come to me for a couple days, so I sideloaded it. And the process was very simple. I did run into an error. There was an error in general. The error was no error. It's kind of funny. But I ran into that and I did a couple things. I tried quite a few things and then I switched the cable. Boom, that was the issue. It went through. It was faster and much easier than the over-the-air update, in my opinion. So I'll probably do that each and every time that I don't get the update, maybe after a day or so, because on the January update that everyone had all the controversy about, when I finally did get that update, I waited and I waited and I waited. It was the same update that they came out with the same issues. And for me personally, it didn't have any issues. So in retrospect, I would have sideloaded that one as well. So after I sideloaded the update, I immediately noticed that the fingerprint sensor was much quicker. So I continued to test it, and I even tested it on like the wrong finger to see if it was just accepting everything, and seems to be working extremely well, like better even than my Pixel 3's rear-facing fingerprint sensor. So that's a good thing. And that's really the only thing that I personally had an experience with and noticed about the update. There are some specific things, bug fixes, and some extra features. I can provide a link if you want me to. Just lay that down in the comments and I'll be glad to do so. So the other thing is I bought a gimbal. I was online looking for a small tripod to replace my Joby GorillaPod that I bought, which I like, but it was kind of a little bit too cumbersome for what my preference was. I never did wrap it around anything or use it that way. And it did fall on me one time because, I mean, it was my fault. I didn't shape the legs well enough. As you can see, when you're shooting with this, in selfie or doing a vlog or anything, or shooting footage out there, you can get it really stable by shaping it this way. But then, you go into making the legs, you've got to spend a little bit of time doing it. I know it's small, but I didn't shape the legs quite right and it fell down. No damage or anything, but it could have been. So anyway, I upgraded to a gimbal, at first at least, and it was a DJ4, a DJI OM4 SE. Gets rave reviews. I mean, 80% on Amazon, which typically means for me, it's a good product. I probably should have researched it a little bit more, but I thought, my goodness, with this many reviews that were good, it's got to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. Well, maybe for iPhone users, it is, because when I got it home, I'm so excited. I put my phone in the little, rig and slapped it on the, that's the one I ended up with, by the way. Slapped it into the rig itself and started shooting. First thing I noticed, the Android app is not on the App Store. And I'm thinking, well, maybe it's because they had an issue with Google and didn't want to pay them for it being on the App Store or whatever. So I downloaded it, started messing around with it, and it seemed to work okay. Then I did a test video, and the video was just choppy. I don't know if it wasn't taking advantage of the OIS or the EIS or whatever. It just defeated the purpose, in my opinion, of having a gimbal, which is to have fluid video. So I tried to see if you could use the native app. You couldn't use it. And then I downloaded, or I bought, what is it called? Filmic Pro. I downloaded and purchased Filmic Pro, and you can use, and Filmic Pro works well. It gives you a little bit more advanced features than the native camera app. I probably use it if I do like a cinematic type of footage or anything like that. But for vlogs, the standard Pixel camera app is just, it hits exactly what I need. I like to adjust, the sometimes not really the temperature, but the exposure a bit sometimes. That's enough for me, to be honest. I like simplicity. I want to get, I don't need to get such a good shot, and I would like to be able to shoot in a flat color profile, which you can't even do with Filmic Pro, by the way, on Pixel phones. But nonetheless, the DJI OM4 didn't really suit my needs. And the reason I bought it in the first place was I was looking at a tripod. It was $25, and it was also a Joby. And then I saw the DJ4. I was like, wow, you can get a good gimbal for $100? I'm going to spend $25 anyway. Why don't I just get this gimbal? Anyway, it seemed to complicate life more than it seemed to simplify it, which is what I was looking for in the first place. So that's my experience with it. Maybe it works better with iPhone, but I did see some iPhone users say that the app was choppy there as well. It's just a shame that that you can't use it with the native camera app. Maybe Google will buy a gimbal maker or something like that, or maybe it's not even necessary anymore. Honestly, I think that's the case. I don't really think it's necessary to have a gimbal with the because it doesn't give you that much better stabilization than the standard built-in camera stabilization. Yeah, it's EIS and it crops and blah blah blah, but it gets the job done, at least for me, when I'm doing a cinematic like pan. That works great to get some B-roll or whatever. It just works. So anyway, I wanted to simplify my life, and this is what I ended up with. Not sponsored. Manfrotto Pixie tripod, and I put my Joby rig on top of it, which I like. It's a little bit heavy, but it's the best. Works with all the big cases and everything. This one came with the Gorilla Pod, and I purchased a Joby Wavo mic as well. The thing about boom mics is that they're meant for really close up. In general, the gain is going to be a little bit low. You have to bring it up a little bit in post. It is better than the internal camera, internal phone microphones in general, but you do have to bring the gain up a little bit, and it's if you don't want to spend $50 on one, you probably don't have to. But if you think it's something you might need, if it were $100, I would say absolutely not. But being that you can get a pretty decent one for around $40, you do get your money's worth out of a lower price one. And everyone's buying the Rode Video Micro, and I'm satisfied with the Joby. It does the job, and I probably won't use it in most cases. But if there's wind, this is called a dead cat. It will help with windy situations quite a bit. So anyway, and the reason I like this, I want you guys to check this out. I want to show you. And I have this tilted, and there's a reason why I have it tilted, because if I set this down here, it's going to be flat and forward. So I could technically be doing this vlog style with my phone. But I'm stingy about my batteries. That's why I'm using my webcam. So if the footage is bad, yeah, blame me. So if I'm doing like on vacation or something, I can I can set this down. It's simple. You go, 90% of my shots will either be here or, and you just press your thumb and this rotates here. Simple, right? That's what I'm going for. Well, simple. Here, back to here, expand the tripod legs, boom, won't fall over, hopefully. So anyway, that is that. Another thing that I would recommend picking up if you're going on vacation for your Pixel phone or any phone for that matter is one of these neoprene cases. There's a bunch of them. This is, I don't even know what the brand is, but I can find the link if somebody wants me to look. This fits perfectly with a large case on my Pixel 6 Pro. And that way I can keep the heavy sun from hitting it if I go to the beach or something like that. And I won't get it messy. You know, it protects it a little bit from just the elements in general. But what I'm thinking about is when I've got like SPF whatever on my hands and I go to do my phone, that, you know, pick up my phone, I feel like, oh, I don't want to damage my phone. You know, I don't want to get it caked in the USB-C port and then I'll worry about it. So I got one of these, which should help with that. Another thing, if I had to go back in time, I would have probably tried a screen protector because Gorilla Glass Victus does tend to, it seems like it, I've got a few micro things on here. I carry this in a specific pocket and don't put anything else but the phone in that pocket. So I didn't pick it up from that, but I did drop it on the concrete one time and it rolled over on like a pebble and it's small little micro abrasion. And then last night I was eating at a food truck and going to grab my credit card out of here because they don't take that. I don't know why, but either way, I ended up dropping this thing face down on the softest of all soft sand, or so I thought. And there's a few micro abrasions again on this. So to be honest with you, this has got me thinking about the Pixel 7. So I think that the Pixel 7 is going to be a hit. I'm not really that interested in the 6A. I would be if I didn't already have a Pixel 6 phone, but I would wait to jump on anything. You know, it doesn't really excite me that much, but I think it's going to be a great budget phone. Personally, I'd just pick up the 6. But the 7 is going to be the phone to get, I believe. I will have to wait until the reviews, and I pre-ordered my Pixel 6. I will not do that with the Pixel 7. But I may try to work out a trade-in, and we'll see how that goes, because I believe that the Pixel 7 is going to be the refined version of the Pixel 6. Even though I think the Pixel 6 right now, with after the June update, is the best that it has been, even better than the phone that I used to have that I never complained about or never had any issues. They've refined it, in my opinion, to the point where it's even better. So at this point, so 7, maybe we'll see. I'm excited about it. I like the design so far of what I'm seeing. I like the fact that it's like a progression. They're going to be refining things. But it also has me hoping that video will be improved on it. I'd love to be able to shoot in a flat color profile for video. Maybe we'll see, because I'll experiment with it. And then do I have to color grade? And I don't see, my problem is when I start color grading and stuff like that, even when I was playing with the white balance here on this thing, I don't know how far to take it. You know, it's like, I don't, it's not an eye thing. I can see perfectly. It's a brain thing. You know, it doesn't, I could play with it all day long and never know where I'm at with it. I have to compare it. I don't know. Maybe there's an inefficiency in my brain in that way. So anyway, I really hope that the video capabilities are good on that one, on the 7. That I really want it to rival the iPhone, because the only time that I get tempted into iPhone Apple territory is when I start thinking about video, and it's like video is my thing, and then also simplicity and not being locked into this walled garden and being able to pay reasonable prices for my gadgets and my tech. it comes at like this juxtaposition, you know, yin and yang, and it just doesn't quite work for me. But I really hope that that Google steps it up in the video department. That would be a dream come true, and I would be like, all right, I'll pull whatever it is out of savings to get the 7. But if they don't, we'll see. We'll see. It'll be a better phone though, in general. But anyway, guys, sorry about not posting in a long time, and hope you enjoyed this and find it useful. And we'll see you next time. Hopefully not so long. Peace.